See, class, you'd already be in trouble, and you know that. I am so glad to be with you. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, and members of the Pennsylvania Coalition of Public Charter Schools, good evening and welcome to the PCPCS 2023 Annual Conference. It is truly my honor to stand before you today as we embark on this exciting journey of learning, collaboration, and growth. I'm Dr. Annie Clark, the CEO of the Pennsylvania Coalition of Public Charter Schools, and I am so glad that all of you are here with us. Our theme for this year is We Are Rising Together for All of Pennsylvania. It reflects our shared commitment to the betterment of education in Pennsylvania. Over the next 3 days, you will witness the power of unity as we gather under one roof with a remarkable assembly of 601 attendees. I remember standing here last year when we had just passed 400 and I thought it was a big deal. And when we neared 500, I said, okay, well, we'll make the app go up. And then today when we got the number of 601, I was thrilled to know that the commitment that we share across Pennsylvania. Today we will have, over the next 3 days, we will have our first time our student youth coming. 70 youth will be here tomorrow with us. This will be the first time that they're going to have our leaders from across the state pour into them in the hope that next year they can pour into each other. We have visionary leaders, we have dedicated teachers, and we have the institutions that support our students and our parents. We have board members, we have parents, and we have businesses that support our organizations across the state. We are at this conference for a meeting of the minds, to celebrate the collective effort that goes on to making Pennsylvania's charter schools a beacon of hope and of excellence. Together we are fostering innovation, promoting educational equality, and giving every student the opportunity to reach their full potential. Tomorrow we will be recognizing our first high-quality charter schools in the state of Pennsylvania. 5 schools have met 40 national standards. They have provided documentation and they have had full-day interviews with their school leadership team, their board, and their staff. So please join us tomorrow morning as we recognize the first high-quality charter schools in Pennsylvania. In the days ahead, you will have a chance to participate in diverse range of sessions. We are so fortunate to actually have international speakers here today and speakers from across the country who've come in to pour into Pennsylvania. They know that Pennsylvania is on the cutting edge of innovative work. We have had a hard climb over the last 26 years, and a lot of people have set that foundation. But where we are going next, no one has ever gone. Not just in Pennsylvania, but in our nation. And Pennsylvania is going to lead that charge through innovation and unity. We have bright minds in the room here, and every mind that's here can solve any problem that we have. And I am committed to that every day. I think about what is best for our students, what is best for our teachers, what are best for our schools. There's never a time that I don't walk out the door and think that. I encourage each and every one of you to engage wholeheartedly and share your insights and embrace the spirit of collaboration. The success of this conference depends on your activity and your participation. I have no doubt that you will make connections that will last you long beyond the conference and have lasting impacts on our schools. I am so honored to introduce our MC, Doug Wessels.
Hello everyone, welcome. You all look so beautiful today. I love it.
You too.
So first, before we begin, we did want to take a moment to recognize Dr. Reese Fleury, the board president of the Pennsylvania Coalition of Public Charter Schools. Unfortunately, he is unable to join us here in person, but in the tradition of virtual charter schools, he joins us via video.
Hello, I'm Reese Fleury, president of the board of the Charter Coalition. I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome everyone to this year's conference. I have to apologize for not being in attendance in person, but due to a scheduling conflict that took me out of the country, I'm not able to attend this year's conference. For first-time attendees, welcome. You're going to find this an enjoyable experience. For experienced attendees, you know how exciting these few days are and how rejuvenating it is to those of you in the school choice movement. To the board members, I want to thank you for your service to the organization. Without you, all this wouldn't be possible, especially board members at the local charter school. The leadership in that charter school values your support. To the parents, thank you for choosing our schools. It wasn't a simple decision. It takes a lot of research and a lot of time, and we appreciate that you chose our schools. As we all know, there's a lot of critics in the school choice movement. But one thing that came out of COVID was an clear understanding by the general public that charter schools can deliver. And in many cases, traditional public schools could not. We have to continue to fight the fight so that all families and all students can be served. Regardless of your zip code, they can have a good educational experience. We also know that legislation has been introduced and will continue to be introduced under the guise of charter reform. But we all know that's a fraudulent statement, that it's really meant just to shut down school choice so that there's no competition for the traditional public schools. Anybody that examines these bills knows that the true existence of cyber charter schools would be shut down if these bills go forward as written. Anyone that supports these bills, as I see it, only does it for two reasons. Either they don't understand how school funding really works, and in that case, I encourage them to do more research on the funding of schools, or they're not really about students and parents and our educational system. It's more about who funds them for the next election and their next bid for office. In either case, we need to fight the fight so no legislation gets passed that harms our ability to serve parents that make a different educational choice for their children. Again, enjoy the conference. Have a wonderful time. Thank you.
The PCPCS Legacy Awards represent a prestigious and revered recognition within the educational landscape. These awards have been established to celebrate the remarkable achievements, dedication, and innovation of individuals and institutions in the realm of charter schools, particularly within the Pennsylvania Coalition of Public Charter Schools community. As an embodiment of excellence, the PCPCS Legacy Awards aim to honor those who have made significant contributions to the advancement of charter school education, fostering a culture of learning and growth that leaves a lasting impact. Each year, these awards shine as a spotlight on the champions of education, inspiring others to continue pushing the boundaries of what is possible in the pursuit of high-quality, equitable, and transformative education for all. The PCPCS received over 50 nominees and nearly 800 votes for the chosen legacy winners this year. We want to take a moment to recognize our past recipients of the Legacy Awards, many of whom are with us in this room this evening. Please stand if you're here. Elected officials, Senator Anthony Williams and Representative Jesse Topper. Legacy teacher, Erin Corviana. Board member, Edward Elder. Advocate, Anna Myers. Supporter and business leader, Charter Choices. Lobbyist, Dennis Giorno. Attorney, Pat Hennessy. Parent, Lisa Kennedy and Ralph Weiser. Rising school leader, Jennifer Morrison. School leader, Dr. Wayne Jones. And lifetime achievement, Stephen Kat Danzerite. Honoring our Legacy Award recipients tonight, we really would be remiss if we didn't mention something about the members of the General Assembly who have joined us and who have supported us for so many years. And so today we do want to recognize Jarrett Coleman was elected to the State Senate in November 2022 to represent the people of the 16th Senatorial District. He chairs the Senate Intergovernmental Operations Committee, the panel responsible for reviewing proposals to restructure and streamline state government. Senator Coleman is also a member of the Communications and Technology, Consumer Protection, and Professional Licensure, Education, Local Government, Urban Affairs, and Housing Committees. He was previously elected to the Parkland School Board in Lehigh County, where he was a voice for parents seeking transparency and taxpayers seeking an advocate to curb wasteful spending. Senator Coleman is working to return the government to serving the people. An airline pilot, Senator Coleman was born and raised in the Lehigh Valley and lives with his wife Katie in Brennigsville and their 2 children and dogs. He is a graduate of Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University with a Bachelor's of Science in Aeronautics and Master of Business Administration. Please join me in welcoming Senator Jarrett Coleman.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, we'll move this puppy down. There we go. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for having me today. I would just like to begin by thanking you for having me here today. All of you here today embody the spirit of the Legacy Award for your tireless dedication to improving educational opportunities for Pennsylvania's children. To meet the educational needs of our students, it is vital that the options available to them are as diverse as the needs of all of the students. There is no one-size-fits-all solution. Rather, parents or guardians and children need to consider their individual needs and circumstances. A robust system of educational options also creates the competition we need to spur educational innovation. To me, it's always amazing. This seems to be one of the only industries that folks tell me competition is bad. I just can't come to reason with that. But we know through the competition, innovation is spurred, and that's so important. Because of the flexibility inherent in the charter school model, educators can offer programs tailored to the interests of students in ways that improve outcomes and ensure the needs of students are met. Too often in Pennsylvania, opponents of school choice portray the options available as a threat to the educational system. I've had the opportunity to visit a few charter schools who serve students in my district, and I've been amazed by the educational environments they create for our students. Now, I haven't had an opportunity to go to all of them, but I will welcome the opportunity. If you'd have me out, I'd love to see your school and learn more about your organization. The first experience that I had was with the executive charter school located in Allentown. And it was amazing to come into this executive charter school to see the repurposing of an old building made from the semiconductor age and watch what the students and the staff are accomplishing inside. It is quite amazing. One other thing that the executive charter school had that I found amazing was they had a community closet where they were actually having students, community members come in and donate that they could then give out to students in need. And I thought, how amazing was that? The second was a tour that I had of the 7 Generations charter school located in Emmaus. Once again, beautiful work they're doing, repurposing an old Rodale building, brand new gymnasium that's being built, and creation of an outdoor amphitheater that will serve to help the community as well, all while providing education at a cost of a fraction of the public schools in the area. The work that both of these schools are doing is incredible, from improving learning and graduation rates to improving individual experiences for children. The staff, as you all know, you all have an infectious sense of happiness and purpose that's beaming from all of you. But I don't think that this is important. I think what's important to notice is that this is not unique to just the administrators and educators within the 2 buildings that I were in. You see, you're all part of the push here to help improve the educational outcomes for our state. And our state, I truly believe our state becomes stronger as we offer educational options that are as unique and diverse as our own children. So in closing, to all of you, I would like to thank you for everything you're doing, and just know that while you're all out there kicking butt, know that we're in the Senate fighting for all of you. So again, thank you so much for having me, and enjoy the rest of your time.
And now, we would like to recognize Mark Sims, the CEO of Academia Charter School, our host charter school here in Lancaster, to please join us.
Good evening, everyone. As you can see, I'm not Mark Sims, but my name is Adelise Lopez, and I am on the Board of Trustees to La Academia Partnership Charter School. This is Jason Reed, our Director of Finance and Operations. So we are representing today the beautiful Lancaster County and La Academia, but today we want to thank Senator Jared Coleman for all the service that you have done for the Scholars of Pennsylvania.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Senator. Thank you so much, La Academia. We are honored to be in your host county. So we are now ready to recognize our amazing 2023 Legacy recipients. Our recipients will receive their awards. We will hear from 2 Legacy winners after they receive their recognition. Senator Scott Martin and our Lifetime Legacy recipient, Gail Hawkins Bush. So, Senator Scott Martin. Throughout his tenure, Senator Scott Martin has consistently demonstrated a remarkable commitment to public service, unwavering dedication to his constituents, and a genuine passion for improving the lives of those he represents. His legislative accomplishments reflect a deep understanding of the pressing issues facing his district and a tireless commitment to enact positive change. Senator Martin's collaborative approach, bridging the partisan divide to achieve meaningful bipartisan solutions, sets him apart as a true statesman. His advocacy for education reform, healthcare accessibility, and economic revitalization has had a profound and lasting impact on his community. Beyond his legislative achievements, Senator Martin's integrity, compassion, and accessibility have garnered widespread respect and admiration. It is undeniable that his visionary leadership and tireless advocacy have left an indelible mark, making him a fitting recipient for the Legislator Legacy Award. He is a truly powerful advocate for students and families across Pennsylvania. Please join me in recognizing Senator Scott Martin.
How's everybody doing? Good? It's nice seeing everyone all dressed up. I almost feel like I'm at a formal, you know? But listen, it's really interesting. A dear friend from my past, Adelise Lopez, I don't know where she went. She's right there. You know, we used to work together at a place that was called Barnes Hall Juvenile Detention Center. A long time ago, it became the Lancaster County Youth Intervention Center. And I've often told the story about what frames my viewpoints on what we're doing in the best interest to meet a child's individualized needs. I often look back on my time working in the juvenile justice system. And in that system is actually one where we wait for a life to go off track, needs not met, usually school's one of the first things that they rebel against or fall through the cracks. And then the government steps in and wants to evaluate what's the best place that we could put this child that they'll be successful in life. What's the best thing out there that can serve that kid's needs? And then they get court ordered to it. I always found great irony in that when I think about what's at stake with all our children across this Commonwealth. And I appreciate the work that every single one of you do on a daily basis. And I'll tell you what, seeing what you do and the lives that you change, that's what fuels our passion to make a difference and to provide opportunities for these kids. And you all know we're up against the system, and anytime you try to break that wheel, there are forces that either benefit from that system, they know what's best for a family's child. We all know that it's not the case. They don't learn the same. They all may have been victims of abuse at some point. They may even have to go to school with someone who was actually the person who victimized them. They may go to a school that consistently isn't proficient in any area and leaves them trapped for their future. I think every single person in this room would agree with me if I say our children absolutely and their futures are 150% worth our time and effort to fight for. And I appreciate this. It'll be an honor for me to continue to fight for you, and you see the battles that we face in order to allow you to do what you have a passion for. But really the true heroes in all this are all of you and the work that you're doing in changing lives every single day. So God bless you all.
Thank you so much, Senator. Robert O'Donnell has been practicing law since 1970 and created his current firm to service charter school clients since 1998. Bob has represented over 100 charter schools in litigation, including winning a constitutional challenge on charter school governance argued before the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, negotiation and compliance issues, advising on business issues, and many other complex matters in the daily operation of charter schools. Prior to creating his own firm, Bob was counsel to Saul Ewing for over 13 years. Bob has advised governmental entities, including the City Controller of Philadelphia, on pension and municipal finance matters, and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania in connection with the financial distress of the city of Harrisburg. When Bob was Speaker of the House in the early 1990s, he was instrumental in bringing the charter law to life. He is the reason that many of us are involved and committed to ensuring that children in the Commonwealth have educational choices. There are no attorneys and few people that have been around and involved as the way Bob has. Accepting on behalf of Bob O'Donnell is Sis Obed Torres. Brian Abella is a government relations specialist and a veteran lobbyist who is well-versed in a variety of legislative issues and processes. His deep relationships and experience have delivered wins for clients in the areas of education, public safety, workforce development, and general business interests. Brian has been a key advocate in successfully lobbying for the expansion of Pennsylvania's Educational Improvement Tax Credit Program and the interests of charter schools and hybrid learning. In addition, Brian has worked extensively on pension reform, and he has strong relationships with key legislators and legislative staff who focus on this issue. Brian served Governors Tom Ridge and Mark Schweiker as the Director of Legislative and Public Affairs for the Department of Labor and Industry. Acting as the primary lobbyist, he was a member of the political staff of Governor Ridge's re-election campaign. Additionally, Brian volunteered for the presidential campaign of George W. Bush. He is a graduate of Western Michigan University. Please join me in congratulating Brian Abella. And our parents, who we would not be here without your courageous and tremendous choice, Tabby and Jim Malliard, are advocates for children's education and health since their journey began in 2011. Tabby and Jim are the proud parents of Skylar and Bella. The Malliards started their journey into advocacy when they became members of the Head Start Policy Council. Their early involvement set the foundation for their advocacy. They soon transitioned to the board of directors for a Head Start and pre-K program. Jim currently serves as the board's president of the Family and Christian Community Association. Their advocacy extends beyond education. After experiencing the challenges of navigating the healthcare system for their own children who battle chronic health concerns, the Malliards expanded their advocacy to include the medical system as well. They work to ensure that all children have access to the best possible health care and understanding their health care rights. The Malliards' commitment to improving the education system was further reinforced when they transitioned their own children to a cyber charter school. This personal experience, combined with their passion for equal education opportunities, has driven them to extend their advocacy efforts. The Malliards watched as their children started to thrive in the new school setting and discovered why school choice was the biggest fight to enter. Now, they champion not only for their own children, but for all children, advocating for flexible, personalized, and quality education for every student. The Malliards are a testament to the power of personal experience as the driving force for systemic change. Their journey from Head Start Policy Council and medical advocacy to now education and special education advocacy underscores their unwavering dedication to ensure that every child has the opportunity to succeed and that every parent understands their rights in protecting their child and or ensuring their child is receiving the education and educational experience they deserve. Congratulations and thank you, Tabby and Jim Malliard. And now in the area of legacy teacher, Julianne Tucker received both her bachelor's in elementary education and master's in middle school mathematics at the University of Central Florida. After teaching for 6 years in Florida, Julie migrated north, where she has been teaching for the past 8 years at Young Scholars of Greater Allegheny Charter School. She currently serves as the department head. At YSGA, Julie has taught a wide range of students from kindergarten through 8th grade. Her favorite part of the job is watching students learn and grow. In her free time, Julie enjoys visiting her network of friends and family spread throughout the United States and has found joy and adventure in traveling abroad. This year, Julie has the unique pleasure of teaching her very first kindergarten class once again as they enter middle school. Please join me in congratulating Julie Tucker. In the area of business, Charter School Capital is recognized for its significant contributions to charter school finance and support services. Their innovative solutions have helped charter schools thrive, making them deserving recipients of the Legacy Business Award. For the past 15 years, Charter School Capital has provided more than $3 billion in funding and resources to more than 900 charter schools, supporting more than 2 million students. Through their dedicated service, their vision to ensure every student has access to a nourishing school environment in which they can thrive is being realized. Please join me in thanking and congratulating Charter School Capital. We're gonna have you lean in on those magenta socks. In the area of board member, David Taylor is a founding board member of Reach Cyber Charter School and has served as the school's board president since the school's charter application in 2015. In his day job, David is the president and CEO of the Pennsylvania Manufacturers Association, a statewide trade organization. As a founder of Reach Cyber Charter School, David has served as an advocate for students from every corner of the Commonwealth from gifted students who seek an accelerated track to competitive athletes and performers, parents, students with disabilities, military families, and many others who see an individualized education with a flexible schedule as the best choice in their education. David has helped to guide Reach through tremendous growth in a relatively short time. Opening in 2016, Reach has grown from 16 employees and 468 students to now over 800 employees and 8,000 students. In April 2023, David was named in the top 20 of Pennsylvania's Power 100 list. Please join me in congratulating David Taylor. In the area of advocacy, Larry Jones Jr. is a longtime educator, community servant, and advocate for public education. Larry began his career as a teacher in the School District of Philadelphia. He currently serves as the founding CEO of Richard Allen Preparatory Charter School Incorporated, a comprehensive middle charter school located in Southwest Philadelphia. In addition to his duties as CEO of a thriving charter school, Larry has served as the president of the Pennsylvania Coalition of Public Charter Schools, the founder and executive team member of the African Charter School Coalition, and has worked with charter schools across the state, developed relationships with businesses, political and community leaders, and maintained a positive dialogue with local and state elected officials. Please join me in congratulating Larry Jones. In the area of rising leader, J.D. Smith's work in career and technical education at Reach Cyber Charter School is unparalleled. The amount of partnerships he has formed with various businesses is impressive, far exceeding the mark of federal and state mandates for college and career readiness. J.D. has worked as a social worker in foster care and is committed to giving kids the leg up needed to succeed after K-12 education. He oversees Reach's Career Readiness Department, which serves all Reach students, kindergarten through 12th grade, and includes career readiness teachers, a K-8 career exploration coordinator, and career experience managers and coordinators. JD also oversees an innovative team of teachers coordinating vocational programs in carpentry, veterinary sciences, cosmetology, and many more. His innovative ideas and contributions are shaping the future of public charter schools across the Commonwealth. Please join me in congratulating J.D. Smith. In the area of school leader, Beth Jones has over 30 years of experience in education, serving as a teacher from toddlers to adults. She has served extensively in leadership roles at both brick and mortar and cyber charter schools. Beth is one of the founders of Collegium Charter School in Exton and currently serves as the Chief Operating Officer at Insight, Pennsylvania Cyber Charter School. Beth holds a bachelor's degree from Immaculata University, a master's in educational psychology from Widener University, and MBA from Westchester University. She is a senior professional in HR certified by HRCI and holds teacher and administrative certifications from the Pennsylvania Department of Education. Beth has served on the board of the Pennsylvania Coalition of Public Charter Schools for 6 years, including serving as the board president. She is a longtime champion of and advocate for public school choice in Pennsylvania. Her innovative approaches have created transformative educational experiences for students across Pennsylvania. Please congratulate Beth Jones. And finally, lifetime achievement. For over 50 years, Gail Hawkins Bush has been a pioneer in the charter sector in Pennsylvania. She is a founding board member of the Commonwealth Academy Charter School and Reach Cyber Charter School. In addition, she has served as a board member for Hope Charter School and Amani Charter School in Philadelphia. As an educator who has held various administrative and teaching positions, Gail has brought a wealth of knowledge and expertise to the charter school sector in Pennsylvania. Before retirement, she served as Chief Academic Officer, Chief Operating Administrator, and Director of the School Alliance for Progress Charter School. As a current trustee for Reach Cyber Charter School, she delivers expertise in the development of curriculum, teacher recruitment, parent engagement, and community involvement. An active member of her community, Mrs. Hawkins Bush has served on a long list of committees and has assisted many organizations, including the Greater Urban Affairs Children and Youth Committee, the Pennsylvania Coalition of Public Charter Schools, the Coalition of 100 Black Women, the National Political Congress of Black Women, the Board of Trustees of Cheney University, and the Black Alliance for Educational Options. She was also honored for an Image Award from the Pennsylvania Black Legislative Caucus in 2015. Her tireless advocacy and dedication have played a pivotal role in shaping the charter school landscape across Pennsylvania. Please join me in thanking and congratulating Gail Hawkins Bush.
Thank you very much. I am more than honored, more than happy to be here. But I want you to give a real cheer to all of the hard workers who have been acknowledged. And Senator, if you're still here, I appreciated what you had to say about those of us who toil, work hard in the marketplace. It is a very interesting dynamic to take on a responsibility different than what the normal responsibility is for a public system. And that's how I started with charter schools. Legacy is interesting. Makes me feel like I'm 100 years old. I'm maybe a few years shy of 100. But I almost said, well, should I come in with the cane? And Ann knows, maybe a wheelchair. Because I have been in the marketplace with experimental education for many, many years. And I have to tell you a little bit about my background. I'm from, for a better term, JB will appreciate this, the Boogie Down Bronx. And those of you that don't know what the Bronx is, that's in New York City, and it's one of the many boroughs. I was a strong proponent through my parents of public schools. But my dad said in New York City at the time that I was born, in the law in New York had to be, you had to raise your child in the mother's religion. And my mother happened to be Catholic, and I don't know whether Cedric is in the room yet. Oh, he is. My father was an Episcopalian. He'll appreciate that because that's our newest board member, Pastor Cedric Alexander. So let's give him a round of applause. Anyway, I then attended Catholic school, which was around the corner and all New York kind of things. We didn't have cheese buses. I didn't learn that until I came to Philadelphia. But as an only child and the only grandchild and the only niece, was interesting for the dynamic because I was an enigma. I didn't come from a big family. My parents were together till their demise. I was a latchkey kid. I lived in a block where everybody knew everybody, and there was a woman that used to lean out the window, not a tenement, wasn't a tenement block, and she had magic powers. Miss Fay, I'll always remember her. Whenever I had a bag of something, she always knew what was in the bag. I don't know how she found out or how she knew it, but that was the environment that I grew up with for schools. I begged my parents when it was time for me to go to high school, please let me walk across the street to a high school. Because at the time I was in first grade, I took public transportation, not the cheese bus again. Of course, I was lucky enough to graduate from Morris High School in the Bronx, and Colin Powell was a graduate of my high school, along with a lot of other very famous local as well as national people. When I met him at a presidential orientation, I went up to him, I said to my husband, should I go say something to him that I'm from Morris High School? My husband said, of course. And when I went up to him and I said, excuse me, sir, I'd just like to introduce myself, Colin Powell, he said, and you know how to say my name properly. He said, I'm most impressed. I said, I went to Morris High School. He said, but you weren't there when I was there, because I would have remembered you. And I said to myself, gee, if I had been a little older, I would have had a prom date. Anyway, moving right along with this whole issue of legacy, I started, and I have to give credit, when I opened the charter school and started working. I was in graduate school at Temple under the illustrious dean of the graduate school, Dr. Trevor Sewell, who had a vision and had presented the vision to Peter, but that was the president at the time, and he was involved in other things, and they scrapped it. And for those of you who don't know Dr. Trevor Sewell, he's a very interesting man, and he is an expert on artificial intelligence testing and numerics and all of those things. I learned a lot from him, and he gave me this proposal one time and handed it to me and said, Gail, read this and tell me what you think. I said, you want to know what I think? You can't read my mind at the stage of the imagination, being an expert in artificial intelligence and all the major things. Jokingly, he said, no, I can't read your mind on this. So I got the proposal, and I read it, and I said, this is interesting. It was the beginning of the charter movement and a philosophy for Temple to undertake a learning school, which were happening in all kinds of places. When I was in undergrad in Ohio, they had a pilot school at the university, and on and on and on. And of course, it didn't come to fruition enough for Peter. So he said, we need to find a social service agency. And I had a friend who was running a social service agency and was across the street from Temple. So I sat down with her. She's no longer with us. She's probably smiling down because she's finally getting recognition. And I gave it to her, and I said, read this for a minute and come back to me and give me what your feeling is. So maybe about 3 or 4 days later, she read it. She said, this is a good idea. Why don't you take it on? And I said, okay, if that's what you think you can handle. Subsequently, years later, and unfortunately, Joyce isn't here. Where are you? Okay, oh, there she is. That lady is the reason why we taught French at the Alliance for Progress Charter School in the 3rd grade. Stand up, Joyce. She's short, so you think she's standing up, but she's not sitting down, she's standing up. Joyce and I have been friends a very long time, more than 50 years. Began to put the pieces together of how we were going to establish the school on the corner, if you know Philadelphia, on the corner of 18th and Cecil B. Moore Avenue in the heart of North Central Philadelphia. It's a good thing that I don't have street fears. Okay? I grew up in a very middle class environment, but I don't have street fears, which was always an enigma to my parents. They could never figure it out. And we did and wrote the Alliance for Progress Charter School. And in the 3rd grade, when we finished and got accepted and all the things, we didn't have an EMO, we got some big grants, and I massaged Harrisburg like I had never massaged anybody before. Because we started with a hole in, when they came to see the school in September, there was a big hole in the ground. And I'm in the middle of Cecil B. Moore Avenue going like this. And they stopped and they said, well, where's the building? Where I said, well, we just moved down here on Broad Street to the OIC building. And the why, because they haven't brought the building yet from upstate Pennsylvania somewhere. Maybe about a month later, it came on a flatbed through the small streets of North Central Philadelphia, the school. It was the first prefab school in North Central Philadelphia. They have a lot of buildings now because it's gentrification, but I can always attest to the Alliance being the first single-story school. So offset the Alliance for Progress Charter School. We interviewed everybody, we did everything. Now, remember, French was a foreign language to the 3rd graders. When they left the Alliance for Progress Charter School, under the tutelage of Joyce and all the other things that we gave as an instrument, they could go, and they did, to Canada and some other places and introduce themselves in a different language. I'm not going to bore you anymore with all my experiences and my legacies. I have been very lucky because I've always surrounded myself with people who are smarter than I am. I'm very creative, I think fast. Sometimes I'm cute, like tonight I'm cute because I have on big girl shoes and a beautiful dress, but most times I'm just me. There's something in the air that allows me to assess and look at things. The main thing that I want to leave you all with, have empathy on those folks who perhaps have not had the advantages you've had. It doesn't mean that they can't get it. When I was at Hope Charter School, and part of my leadership team is here right now, Diane, she's much smarter than I am. She has a wonderful smile. She has a pastor background because her dad, she's a PK kid. So she goes and assess. I could send her anywhere and she could represent the school. You've got to remember that it's just not you. It is someone else in your team that you develop. And I had a hell of a team when I was at Hope, which was, interestingly enough, one of the first, before the school district took over, adjudicated high school in Philadelphia, in West Oak Lane, Germantown area. Diane, I inherited Diane. I was on the board and they said things were going on. Some character resigned by email. And the folks who were involved in that said, you've got to come and work for us, Gail. I said, ay, ay, ay. And I had lots of experiences, but I built a leadership team because at first Diane and Pat and Carl and all of them and Todd, they were looking at me with a jaundiced eye. I had been touted by Congressman Dwight Evans, who believes firmly in charter schools, and some other people, Howard Fuller, I can mention names like that, took us to the White House. Front page of the Inquirer, there Gail is standing next to Bush. Now my married name is Bush. And when we walked into the Oval Office of the White House, on a day it was raining, it was so wet. Dwight was before me, giving him his deference. He was a rep at the time, and I was behind him. And as we were walking in, George said, Junior, oh, I'm going to be entertaining the Williams or Johnson family. And I turned back to him, and I have a picture of me like turning back to him saying, when are you going to do the Bushes? And when I came home, my husband said, no, you didn't say that. You couldn't have said that. I said I did. So Diane is here and her wonderful son, Manny. And they're just a wonderful mother and son. And he's at Villanova, and he's going to graduate, and he's going to make us very proud. And then next to Diane is my love. From the minute I married her father 43 and a half years ago, and we lost him 3 years ago. And I never would have been this nervous if Charlie was still around, because he would have said, get up, Legacy, and he'd have defined legacy in another way, and he would have done the whole thing. But I don't have him around anymore, and I miss him. But my wonderful, wonderful, wonderful stepdaughter, Robin Sidney Bush, Esquire, who I adore, and she works in Trenton. So let's give her a round of applause to get here on time, which is unusual. So I think I've covered all of my guests and all of my reasons why. But remember that this little old lady, African American, got involved in an environment and in a system to educate young people, old people. I never forgot my parents. I always had dinner for them when we had parent meeting, so I always had a lot of people. I didn't have to worry about that big pot of spaghetti I would make, whether they liked it or not. They ate it. They didn't question me. Is it turkey? Is it pork? Is it beef? I knew I had this great big pot. I didn't have to question and talk about our teachers, other than with much respect, much love, and admiration. Because it's difficult to teach, talk, walk, and admire those that perhaps aren't as having the advantages of you, whether it be the parent. I never talked out bad about a parent except for one, and I won't mention her name. She's very famous now. And the other thing I want to say to those who get frustrated, and we did a whole thing, Pat did a whole thing about trauma and the whole thing. My office at one of my schools was across the hall from the kindergarten. And every day, at different times, I would go into the kindergarten room and just sit down, either on the floor. One of the kids would give me their pillow, and I would breathe, I would laugh, I would smile, and I would hug those little people who told me about their lives, who told me what they've experienced in their lives. So I say, all the CEOs, if you have an opportunity, when you leave your office during the day and you're about to pull every hair out, bang on the wall, frustrated, just walk in the kindergarten, because they'll tell the true story. Thank you very much.
Gail Hawkins Bush, everyone. And finally, we would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to the OmniVest LLC and Charter School Capital for their unwavering support and generous sponsorship of the Legacy Awards and Legacy Receptions. Your commitment to our cause and dedication to educational excellence have played a pivotal role in making these events a resounding success. Your partnership has not only helped us recognize and celebrate the outstanding achievements of our students and educators, but has also empowered us to continue our mission of shaping a brighter future through education. We are immensely grateful for your support, and we look forward to many more years of collaboration and shared success. Thank you, OmniVest LLC and Charter School Capital, for helping us make a lasting impact on the lives of those we serve. The reception will be immediately following today's event in the Vista Room, actually.
That's correct.
And we'll turn it back over to Dr. Clark.
again, we're just so privileged to work with all the legacies and all of you. We're looking forward to seeing you in the reception. And please be back here tomorrow morning at 9 to recognize our high-quality schools. We have performances from many schools coming, and they want to have an audience here. So see you at the reception. Have a great time.